This week was a pretty slim week as far as content went, but it was a very, very fun week for me IRL. So I took a much needed hiatus for some family things and some anime convention fun. Hey everyone, it's Tony here with Nerds Never Sleep, and it's time again for another weekly roundup. That's right, this is the time of the week where I bring you in and show you all the statues, figures, and collectibles that I highlight on the channel over the past week using things like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, and photo galleries across the social media platforms. Now, as you can see, this week was very limited, so to speak. And it was because I had a lot of stuff going on IRL with the holiday weekend, family things, and of course, the Gigi Monstar's birthday and Anime Boston over the weekend. So, there was a lot going on. So this past week, we didn't get very much content from me, and I do apologize for slacking. But I'm not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into things with our Miku Monday figure. And I went back to a series that you guys really liked in the beginning, but has been getting some diminishing returns as the pieces come out. Of course, this is the super cute, but very limited Tokyo Cartoony line. And I went with the best girl Vocaloid, of course, Rin. Now, this is, again, another absolutely adorable one in the Tokyo Cartoony line, which, as I say, in the previous two videos, is a very short produced run with a limited amount of characters. We had a couple of Vocaloids, and we had a couple of outliers with Super Sonico and Yoko from Gurren Lagann. Not really much else other than that. But this Rin is absolutely adorable. I love how they give the 8-bit or the 16-bit kind of look around her eyes. It looks super cute. And the way they have the sculpt and the mold and the paint on it just gives it this kind of retro-y look. And I absolutely adore it. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Rin. We need more Rin figures in our lives. But she pairs up very well with both the Mikus. Now, the thing about these that I like is they have these hexagonal bases, so you can actually pair the figures up together without just trying to overlap some big, obnoxious, giant circular bases. As I said with the two Mikus prior to this one, I highly recommend checking out this Rin if you're a Vocaloid fan or a Miku fan or a fan of Rin-chan. Now for Twin Tuesday, I went, of course, back to ReZero with a line that gets a lot of love and hate. A lot of love from me, a lot of hate from others, and that is, of course, the Good Smile Company Pop Parade line. And I went to my best girl, Rem, with this really cute take on the classic maid uniform that she rocks, but with a little bit of a winter tone to it. Now, this is part of I like to call them the Winter Weather Trio, which they have Amelia, Rem, and Rom kind of in their winter gear, like their cold weather gear. And with this one, it isn't a very big difference for Rem because all she really has is some fuzzy boots, like a winter boots on, and she has some tights. But other than that, it is pretty much her standard maid costume until you go and you look closer, and then she actually has fur-lined cuffs and things like that on it. So it's very subtle and it's very cool because, again, it is leaning into her classic maid uniform, but gives a little bit of extra flair that you wouldn't typically get. So I really do like this piece, and I like the trio of them. I do definitely recommend this Rem just for, again, the little subtleties alone. And if you are a fan of Rem, you really can't go wrong with it. The design is super cute. They did a great job with her face. And as with most of the pop-up parades, I was very impressed for the quality and the price on this one. There have only been two that I have not been impressed by, and I won't name them. But if you want to check her out even closer, I did do a review and unboxing on the channel. Go check that one out as well. And then for the very, very short end of the week, I did end strong with a Waifu Wednesday, going back into the gaming worlds with the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt of Triss Marigold. Now, this one is actually from Dark Horse Direct, and I actually really liked this line. I bought the initial set other than one because he was out of stock. And I remember getting them all and looking at them in the boxes through the window boxes and really, really liking them. Triss came out fantastic. Her costume, the pose, the sculpt, her face, all of it looks really, really good until you get down to this. This very, very clunky, hollow, obnoxious, just plain base. And it's something I say about prize figures a lot, and I'm going to definitely say it with the more expensive stuff. I mean, these were in the realm of about $50, $35 to $50, depending on where you got them. So it wasn't too bad, but still, these are more considered a mid-range piece because they're not in prize figure territory. This base killed my desire to even keep going with this line. And I'm a big Witcher fan, but when you got a small footprint here and this massive base that you could probably put 2 or 3 of these figures on, very poor decision on the design part to have these mega ultra giant bases. Now, the rest of the piece itself is great. She's a beautiful Triss, very entry-level friendly, very budget friendly, but you gotta deal with the obnoxious base. And now when you're putting 4, 5, 6, 7, I think there's even like a dozen or more of these now, all lined up together, these are not going to play nicely on a shelf. This big base actually takes points away from it if I had done a review for this. This thing alone, for the budget, the price, and what it was, I probably would have given it a solid 8 out of 10. But this thing would definitely knock it down to like the 6 territory for me. I still think it's a great piece, and if you are looking for a Triss on a budget, absolutely get this line. It's kind of recommend, but only under certain circumstances, I guess. I really do love it. Like I said, from here up, I absolutely love it, but from here down, I really don't like it. So, just my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. So what I usually do at the end of this segment is I give you guys my pick of the high end and the low end stuff. And honestly, I'm going to say all these are fairly close in price point. These two especially. This one I think was only like a $15 piece. So I'm going to go with this being the low end piece with Rin-chan. And she's going to be my pick, obviously, because she's the only one. And out of these two, for the higher end stuff, at least in today's table, I actually, as much as I really, really think the design on the Triss is fantastic, again, that base is it's such an eyesore that I can't give it to her. I got to give it to my girl, Rem. And I know it's going to be an unpopular decision. But, again, that's what the comment section's for. Let me know what your favorites were down below. And now I'm going to fire through the boring parts for you guys because there wasn't a lot going on this past week. Of course, it's the page updates. Now, this week, obviously, I did post 2 videos, a weekly roundup, and a review. That was it. Did not do much game streaming either. I did 2 gaming streams instead of the usual 4, which was more of the incredible Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and my big crash out moment that I just had recently with my final stream for Sword Art Online Last Recollection. And oh my God, did that stream go poorly. End of the game, pretty much the final dungeon, I think. Finally got there after hours of slogging through the misery that was the final chapters of that game. Oh my God, guys. If you didn't watch the stream, you didn't watch the VOD. Oh my God. I never spent 30 hours on a game and just went, nope, I'm done. I'm turning it off. I'm deleting the game. I don't want to finish it. And that's what happened with this one. I have played every single Sword Art Online game. I've had great fun with all of them. This one was terrible. I said it during my stream. I do not recommend it. Do not buy it. Do not play it. Don't waste your time. Skip it. It was horrible, bogged down, just slog mess of a game. Very boring. Just, oh my God. I cannot just crap on the game any more than I have. I regret playing it, and I have a feeling people voted for me to play it because you guys knew I was going to get pissed off at the end. And I did. I went in the end game, and it was very close to the end game. And the last dungeon and the last chapter were just hours of just dragged out, bloated, just fight the same boss 6 times, guys. Go fight the same boss. And hey, all your regular enemies now have 7 million and 1 million HP, and you're doing 2,000 damage per hit or whatever. It was just, as I said in my stream, it was trying too much to emulate an MMO without being an MMO. So it works for your WoWs and things like that when you're doing these massive raids with your friends and your guilds and things like that. And these things have multiple millions of HP, right? And you're doing all these crazy attacks and healing and all this other stuff, and you're talking to each other, and that's great. Sword Art is an action RPG. There's no real place for these enemies to have 12 million HP and you to be sitting there button mashing your X button or your square button for 15 minutes per enemy, let alone the bosses that are like 25 minutes. Very, very poor design when it translates into a action game. And it made for a very slow, just bogged down experience. And again, at the end of the game there, I had a crash out. If you guys didn't see the stream, you didn't see the VOD, go check out just the tail end of that and watch me just lose my mind. Because as soon as I ended that stream, I went ahead, I deleted the game, call it a day, put it on my shelf. 30 hours, I'm tapped out. So there will not be any more Last Recollection streams. I will possibly go to Fractured Daydream, which is the newest one. That's got a lot more positive feedback, so we'll see. But I do have to pick another game to stream in the RPG kind of breakup. So we'll look into doing an action game, see what I can figure out, and go from there. But that's really it for the page updates. As far as this week goes, I am a couple days behind. As I said, because I've been kind of busy with family stuff and Gigi's birthday and going to conventions. So it kind of was a little bit of a break, a little bit of vacation kind of hiatus. So this week I want to try to get back to the grindstone. I do have my Nier 2B Kuji figure unboxing, of course, from Nier Automata. I have an unboxing and review for that one that is probably going to be dropping this weekend. I have a giant 3-box Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot sitting over here, ready to go to be what's in the box. And not really sure what else is going to go for this week. I was going to go with a theme week for the shorts, but because I'm a couple days behind, don't know if I'm going to do that. I might wait till next week, but we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you guys stuck around to the end, thank you so much for checking out the video. If you liked it, do me a solid. Click the like button, the subscribe button, the share button, spread the nerdiness, follow on all the social medias. The links are down in the description below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.